Johnson.
AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
It's me.
Oh, this song is so good.
It is good.
You know, and we decided to use this song because there's a lot of people coming back in this episode. Some people we didn't expect because we don't know who they are. But, you know.
I like it. I like it.
And Adele is back in music, so it works, right?
Yeah, it works perfectly.
What's up, AfterBuzzers? Welcome back to another Vampire Diaries after show. Tonight we're talking about Season 7, Episode 5, Live Through This. And if you guys have not already subscribed to us on YouTube, please do so. That is youtube.com/AfterBuzzTV. You can find us on SoundCloud and iTunes as well. Please give us those 5 stars, you know, like everything and comment to us, talk about the show because we love talking about it. And you can talk to us on Twitter as well using the hashtag ABTVTVD. I'm your host, Katie Campbell, and you can find me on Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell. And tonight I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Jordana Morfin.
Hey everyone, I'm Jordana, and you can follow me on Twitter at Jordana_Morfin. So make sure to tweet us.
Yes, we want to know what you guys thought of tonight's episode. And unfortunately, we're missing Tiana and Sam tonight, so they are missed, and Roxy is always missed as well. So what did you think about tonight's episode?
I think we learned quite a lot, but I liked this episode a lot because the whole Valerie situation with Stefan, like I was saying before, I knew this was going to happen. Yeah. So I'm excited to see where that goes. But I loved how it opened up.
Yeah, let's jump into that.
Yeah, with Bonnie and Enzo.
I know.
I did not expect that one.
I didn't expect it, but I know that some people have been saying, you know, Bonnie and Enzo could be a thing. What is it, Benzo? Is that the ship name?
Benzo?
I think.
Yeah.
Benzo. But I really like it.
I like it too. I can see that one.
So 3 years from now, Bonnie is sitting in kind of like a support group type of situation, and she's sharing her story, and she says that she wishes she could take back something that she did.
And that she misses, and that she lost someone too. Yeah. So
I'm like, so many things are going through my mind. Did she mean, you know, when we see her reunite with Enzo and they kiss, okay, did she lose Enzo and here he is, or did she lose somebody from death? And what is this thing that she did?
Yeah. When they were back in the room, where was she? Because it looked like she was like
in like a
hospital kind of, like a help
house type of thing where she goes to support groups. She didn't look well.
Yeah. So she probably lives there.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
And Enzo said some scary stuff is happening out in the world, which I'm assuming is the whole thing that's happening with Stefan and Damon being hunted and Caroline being hunted as well. But what is this whole thing that she did? Is it bringing back Joe and Oscar, quote unquote?
I don't know. Maybe something else happens. There's something else has to happen, and I'm still curious to see what those little X's are on them. Because obviously, really quick, going forward, when we see Julian, he has a little X on his chest as well.
And it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to him in a second. But yeah, those X's have something to do with this stone. But I don't know if that's what Bonnie's talking about or not. But I really like this whole relationship with her and Enzo. And I feel like we, went back to today, and she actually was kind of flirting with him.
Yes, we saw a little bit of the whole, a little bit of the little spark. And I liked when she comes into the house how Enzo was asking kind of like, not like her situation, but kind of
with
like
Damon?
Well, I think he mentioned something like, he mentioned something about like a relationship.
Yeah.
The way Caroline, how she was talking to Caroline earlier about how she has nobody right now, and it's like a dry spell, pretty much.
Yeah.
And I think Enzo mentioned something about that too.
I feel like Enzo just seems like a character that needs to be loved.
He does, and that's what he wants. Obviously, he wants that from Lily, which is still confusing because I don't understand. I'm still confused if it's actually him in love with Lily, or if he's still just kind of like playing this game because he wants to be on her side.
Right. Let's talk about that for
Yeah.
a second. Did you think that he's still on the heretic side tonight with all the things that he was doing, or do you think he's by himself and he's confused, or is he tricking them and he's on, you know?
Well, you never know with Enzo, but I think that after the whole confrontation that he had with Lily, you know, and asking her, are you going to choose Julian, or are you going to choose me? And she obviously wants Julian back. That's like the love of her life. I honestly think that Enzo's not going to want to be around that.
Right.
And he might just kind of be Team Enzo for a while again because he just doesn't know where he fits. But again, we see forward with Bonnie, so maybe it'll be Team Benzo.
Team Benzo, I like it. Yeah, you know, I think he is kind of confused on where he should stand, and he wants love. And I'm not on board with the whole him and Lily thing. I don't know why I'm not. I don't like it.
I don't like it either.
I think maybe he's not fully on board with it himself. He thinks he is, but he's not.
Mm-hmm. I think it's because he doesn't have like a home, a family. That's probably why, but
yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what he sees in Lily, to be quite honest.
Because she also tells him to sit back and hang out with Oscar, and it drives me insane that all of these little heretics just do whatever she says.
Mm-hmm. And I'm so curious to see how it's going to be now that Julian's in the picture. Right. Is it Julian who's the leader, or is it Lily?
Yeah, we don't know.
Taking control. I'm so curious to see.
Yeah, we don't know that. But she tells Enzo to stay back and take care of Oscar, who is not well, and he is freaking out. He's on this blood binge, which Lily talked about him last episode, being like a crazy kind of Ripper-esque vampire when he feeds. So that's why I thought, you know, maybe that's why he's on the blood binge, but we don't even know who he is.
That was interesting. I wasn't expecting that one.
No.
Well, you know, we find out that it's old vampire souls, right?
Yeah.
Is that what it is?
Yeah, because Bonnie came to talk to him with the stone, and he didn't know what the Phoenix Stone was.
Right.
But it's all of the vampire souls just hanging
Trapped
out
in there. Yeah, pretty much.
And they can just jump out. So I don't think you can call a specific vampire to a body, can you?
Well, they did that to Julian. I think the problem is the way Bonnie did the spell. She just kind of did a spell.
Okay.
But I'm assuming when Lily and all the other heretics were doing the spell, they know exactly what kind of spell, because when Julian woke up, he recognized her.
Right.
So.
Well, that just makes me question, how do they know all of this stuff? Right?
Yeah.
I mean, like, there's got to be some kind of information out there, and I wish that Bonnie would have done the research. But somehow, weirdly, though, I'm excited about this whole storyline, and I kept saying I really want them to use the stone because I want to see what it does and all the things that happen, but it's also scary because we don't know if these were crazy vampires that somebody had to have killed in the back, back in the day.
Well, you know what was interesting was when we see Oscar and he's getting all crazy in the room with Enzo and Bonnie. He has like a lot of power when all the lights go off and when everything's just like, like the windows break and whatnot. And Bonnie even freaks out, like, we need to get out of here. But Joe was completely...
Yeah, does she not have the power then?
Well, that's what I'm confused, because obviously Joe isn't Joe, but she isn't like... Is she it's a vampire in her body as well?
I think
obviously,
so.
Right? But why isn't she hungry or crazy the way Oscar is? That's kind of what I'm confused about. Do you see that?
So is it not only vampires that are in there?
Could it be just... because she wasn't acting out, like...
Right.
And she wasn't asking for blood. So maybe it isn't.
Bonnie did say at a certain point, she said Joe was never in that stone. But I thought, how did she know that?
Yeah, I don't know.
Maybe it is witches and vamps. I mean, even if it was just only vampires, the vampire would jump into Oscar's body, who was originally a witch body, so that's how he would have that power. And maybe he just kept, feeding off of the power and the things he was doing to become crazier and crazier because he just did not want to go back in that stone. But I was really surprised that Bonnie gave away the stone so easily.
Yeah. I was really confused on that whole thing, too.
Yeah, because I would want to keep that thing.
Yeah. I don't know. Or maybe she just doesn't want to deal with that anymore right now.
But if, she finds out the truth and she knows Oscar's not Oscar.
Wait, she does know, though.
Yeah, so since she found out the truth, she should want to keep on, hold of the stone, because obviously
Julian.
Joe, even Joe and Alaric, Joe's not Joe, so maybe she'd want to hold on to the stone.
Yeah, she gave it away really easily, which was confusing because she ran out of that room very quickly.
Yeah.
She was like, bye, see ya later, and just kind of left it there. Maybe she has her reasons for that. I don't know. It's interesting.
Speaking of Joe and Rick, though, I felt so bad for him.
Yeah, I know, me too.
And I know there's been some mixed controversy between, a lot of people about his character and not really on board with what he was doing, and he's just thinking of himself. But I feel bad because it's his true love, and he loves her so much.
You know what I found strange? Before we find out that the stone... That the stone is holding like vampire souls in it.
Yeah.
And we saw her sitting on the couch and she was eating and she was saying like, oh, I don't remember, blah, blah, blah. But then she said, but when he cut his hand, she like knew exactly what to do. I was kind of like, oh, look, it's kind of her. I was thinking, oh, it's her old self, but it's not even her.
So what is
I wonder,
that?
I wonder if it's maybe this other person was also a doctor or maybe a nurse or something.
Whoever it was is from a long time ago, because she doesn't recognize a TV. She thinks it's a piece of art. She doesn't know how to use a gun. Well, I mean, I don't know how to use a gun either, but she doesn't,
Right.
She seems from back in the day.
So it's, I don't know. It's a little weird.
But I really do. I actually got teary-eyed. I know you guys know that I'm a crier, and I really haven't cried that much, surprisingly, this whole season. But I teared up at this moment when he took her hand and he said, I'm going to help you. I think hearing the news from Bonnie that she wasn't Joe was heartbreaking to him. And he still, wants to help her. Maybe it's because she looks exactly like Joe.
Yeah.
It's Joe's body. But I think he does have compassion and maybe even hope to get her back some other way.
Yeah.
But he feels bad for whoever that is, and I do too, but I'm also kind of skeptical because I don't know who it is or what their history is,
Right.
or how crazy they may have been.
And they haven't been acting out, or she, that person inside her, we haven't seen anything crazy yet. We saw her holding the gun, but she didn't really know how to use it or anything.
I think she was feeling threatened at that point. She doesn't know who this is. He's telling her he's her husband, and she doesn't, know how she died. But she did die. Whoever this is died of being stabbed in the heart.
Oh, yeah. I forgot she said that to him. Because she
Yeah.
was saying that I was stabbed in the heart, not in the stomach.
Oh, I need to know more. They're doing that to us this season. They're giving us a little bit of this and a little bit of that. We just have to lay it out on a table and figure it out. Well, on the other side of things, Valerie and the boys do a little teaming up tonight, which, did you like that whole situation then, working together?
I remember way back when, whatever, I think it was the first episode or second episode, I said that Valerie was going to switch sides, and I still kind of have a feeling it's going that way because, I mean, not Team Caroline, but
Right.
just because obviously she doesn't like Julian, and obviously Damon and Stefan don't want him around either. So I have a feeling that, they're going to they want to kind of take her in.
Yeah.
So I kind of did like it. I know people think I'm weird, but I like her. I kind of like Valerie.
You've been saying this for a couple after shows now.
I like her. I mean, I understand that, people think she's crazy, but I mean, she has her reasons as well. I wouldn't freaking want Julian around either if he's crazy, and if he beat me with my baby, what? Of course I wouldn't want him around.
Right.
So, I mean, I don't know. I'm curious to see where that goes.
Yeah, this is the first time I was actually kind of Team Valerie, and I was starting to trust her and feel for her a little bit more. But Damon was kind of doing something funny. He was kind of poking at a little fling and relationship and sparks between Stefan and Valerie, and then also between Caroline and Stefan. He was doing a little bit of, he called them, what did he call them? Lovebirds. Stop bickering to Valerie and Stefan,
But then he was telling, when Stefan was on the phone with Caroline, in the background, Damon was like, oh, don't worry, I'll watch them. You don't have to worry, Caroline. But at the same time,
kind of provoking it.
Yeah, he is provoking it. But I just want to know where that goes, because when they're, I don't even remember if when they were still driving or when they were back in there. Oh no, when he was helping her, you know, with all the wood, taking the wood.
Yeah.
You can see that Stefan still has resentment towards her. Like, he's sad.
I think it's less resentment now, though, that he knows the truth.
Mm-hmm. But this whole time, he was, like, bottling it up inside.
Well, she wasn't saying anything, and that was kind of making me mad. In the car, she was just keeping her mouth shut, and she's like, I don't want to talk about this anymore.
Maybe because Damon was in the car.
Yeah, but I think she was just going to keep the whole thing a secret and to herself until the confrontation happened. You know, what we find out that, first of all, we find out that Julian's dead.
Yeah.
Which I didn't think he was
dead. I wonder
dead.
who killed him.
It was Oscar.
Oh, yeah, Oscar killed him, you're right.
Oscar killed him in 1903 and then locked him away in a coffin emporium.
So Oscar didn't want him around either.
No. And Oscar, you know, wanted his freedom. We heard him talk about that. But he put him in a coffin emporium, so they're all searching through the coffins, and they do find him. And then I thought it was interesting, but I kind of expected this when she tried to set him on fire. It didn't work.
Yeah, when Nora and Mary Louise show up.
Was that them then, or was it like a spell put on his body? You know, he's preserved, first of all, so Lily can one day reunite his soul with the body, or was it...
I think it was them.
Okay.
That's what that's what I got, that she was trying to do it, and you know how it was like in flames and then it just stopped. I think they got there at that point and just kind of like messed with her mind.
Yeah. Lily scared me there because I would not want to be in trouble with her.
Not at all.
You know, and Valerie later wants to run because of Julian, but I would want to run because of Lily.
Yeah, because of Lily. Yeah, that just her eyes. She doesn't even do anything. Just looking into her soul, you're like, no, I don't want to mess with this lady.
She's scary, and she will do anything for Julian. And it's the first time, too, Valerie actually kind of stood up to Lily and it's like, he's bad. You can't see it. You know, your judgment is clouded. He's a bad, evil person.
And slapped in the face.
And she just, no, Julian is good. Don't listen to her lies. Mm-hmm. She's delusional.
Well, when she finds out, or when Damon finds out that it was her who did the whole thing with Elena.
Elena, she convinced Kai to put Elena to sleep.
Mm-hmm. So, I mean...
To punish Damon. You know, I love Damon, though, sticking up for her like that. He just wanted to kill her. Mm-hmm. He didn't even care.
And it's funny how Lily says to right before she says that, Lily says to Damon, you know, to Damon, Julian's my true love, like, he's the one person, you know, blah, blah, pretty much saying it as in Elena's that person for you.
Right, so she should stop messing with him and Elena.
Yeah.
You know, she's causing these things that are happening to her. She's kind of causing it.
It's going to be, I just feel like from now, it's just going to be like downhill. It's going to be no Mama Lily.
Which is interesting, too, because we just saw her kind of bond with Stefan. Mm-hmm. And it almost seems like she has more love for Stefan than Damon, you know, but I think also it's because Damon just acts on impulse and she kind of has more faith, I guess, in Stefan thinking about his actions. But I think you're right. I think it's going to be the brothers against her.
Yeah, now for sure they are all going to be against her, pretty much, her and Julian.
And this Beau character that, you know, he doesn't speak, but we've seen him just obey her, whatever she wants.
Mm-hmm. He's a strong one, too. It seems like. I mean, that's the thing. We never hear from him. We don't see him very often, but when we do, it seems like he's pretty powerful.
Yeah.
So I'm curious to also see what goes on with him later on.
Yeah, and I think Stefan, they started caring for Valerie, too, when Lily slapped her in the face. You know, he's like, hey.
Yeah.
So, you know that he still has some kind of feelings there. And when they first, you know, Beau blew up the whole area and the coffins, the wood, you know, went into their bodies. Well, Stefan woke up and was like, where's Valerie?
It's just, I'm like, what, right when Caroline calls, you know, saying, oh, like, our date, blah, 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 and he's like, you know, we're not going to make it, and she's asking, like, did anything memorable or something happen? And he doesn't say anything. I just feel like there's going to be more secrets, and then, who knows, maybe Valerie and Stefan are going to turn into something for a little while.
Yeah, something has to be going on there, especially with this whole 3 years from now thing with Caroline and Stefan not being together. But let's talk about them in a second after we talk about the whole fact that Valerie just told the truth to Stefan, everything, including, you know, like Julian killing her baby, and he wanted a kid. He said he wanted a kid.
He was down for a kid. And I found that, well, I mean...
But you think about how different their lives would have been if, you know, she was a witch, so she wasn't a vampire. They could have had a sweet little family off, but then we wouldn't have Vampire Diaries. And who knows if he would have even become a vampire, though, because then he would have never met Catherine and...
Elena, anything. Nothing would have happened. I just find it so interesting how attached he was meeting her. I mean, I understand, but, like, this attachment that he had towards her...
You know what? Maybe that's why he's holding on still to this day, because he had that attachment in the beginning, like that just instant, like love at first sight sort of thing.
It's so interesting.
Yeah, because he definitely has some feelings
and
still
he still
there.
does. You can see it.
And she has feelings for him, but I think that she's, you know, also very worried about this whole Julian thing, and that's more important to her because she wants to keep her life, her vampire heretic life. But with Stefan and Caroline, this whole thing just bugs me at the fact that, first of all, Caroline's very jealous, which is to her character. You know, I get a lot of people will be jealous. It makes sense.
Yeah.
But she knows the story that Valerie told her, you know, and then read the diary and everything. So why is she pushing Stefan to talk to her? So, like, pushing. She was pushing him, you know, the whole episode.
Yeah. I don't know. I think she even said so herself, because he's been bottling things up for so long and he doesn't really know. He didn't know the truth, you know.
Well, she tells him the truth and he keeps that from her.
Yeah, I know. But I feel like maybe, I don't know, Caroline's just like a good person. I think she just wants Stefan to, you know, be happy and know what, I don't know, like, to have closure, pretty much, I think. That's pretty much what I think it's closure, what what Caroline thinks.
Him to find. I think it's kind of big of her, too, though, that she is pushing him in a way. She's trying to get over her jealousy, but at the same time, every time they talked on the phone this episode, she's questioning him about her.
Yeah.
So it's still coming out.
And then he's obviously lying to her about it. So that's what I'm saying. It's going to be a rocky road for those two.
Yeah, but, like, they just worked it all up so that we would love Caroline.
I know. I don't know. It's Valerie's going to... I knew Valerie was going to come in the way from the beginning, but...
I like that Caroline and Bonnie had their little conversations at college, too. I think Roxy said it, I can't remember, in the last couple after shows, that she enjoyed those moments between the best friends. You know, we haven't seen that very much in a long time.
Right.
But I like that they're sharing everything with each other. You know?
So, you know, it's the best friend thing.
Everyone seems to be sharing everything but Stefan.
Yeah.
With this whole Valerie situation.
And I wonder how long he's going to keep it away from her. Unless someone... Well, no, because she hasn't said it to anyone else. But unless someone else finds out, I'm just curious how Caroline's going to find out.
Someone's going to find out.
And tell her, probably.
Maybe even from Julian somehow. But I just think that might be the start of the downfall. I think other things might happen between Stefan and Caroline, but the start of everything will be he's not coming, forward. Maybe even he has feelings and he start acting on them. I don't know.
Yeah.
But with this whole Julian thing, he's back.
He is back. And Lily is so happy.
Yeah, and I know you talked about it earlier about Enzo handing her the stone. Enzo is just so truthful to her. It drives me insane. It goes back to his confusion, I think, about what he wants and where he even lies with his allies. But he just said, choose me or Julian. Obviously, she's going to choose Julian. But I think you're right, that's going to make him go to the other side, maybe. He's just not going to be Team Lily anymore. There's no way he should be.
No, there's no way. And I don't know. I found it a little strange how because she wants Julian back, that he would even give her the stone in the first place. Because obviously, I would be selfish and be like, no, I don't want Julian around if I want to be with you.
And Bonnie did say that, too.
Yeah, that's what Bonnie was saying, which is confusing. But that's what I'm saying. Maybe Enzo truly doesn't even love Lily. Or,
he's just confused and wants to be loved.
Yeah. So maybe that's not what he wants anyways. That's probably why he handed it over so easily to Lily. Because he literally just gave it to her.
Lily says that these heretics are faithful to her because she's done so much for them and she's on their side, but she's totally on her own side.
Yeah, it's Team Lily. There's no one else. It's her. All she cares about is Julian.
Right.
She doesn't care about anyone else.
Right.
If anything happened, she acts like when what was the other heretic that died?
Oh. Yeah,
I
know who you're talking about.
I feel like maybe they're gonna start dying. I don't know. And she'll be like, kind of.
Who do you think would die?
I don't know. Well, Oscar's dead. Right?
Yeah, is he dead? I was confused about that.
Well,
Did
he's
that
got
go
stabbed
through his heart?
Yeah. And
it did?
His face turned all gray. So he's dead.
Whoever that was is dead.
Yeah.
Which I would like some answers from. I would like to know who is in Joe's body, too, Mm-hmm. But,
I don't know.
So Enzo gives her the stone, and her and the heretics are doing their chanting, and then all of a sudden, Julian wakes. And I like the way they did this. They were going back and forth between bringing him back to life and Damon and Bonnie, being best friends and having some drinks, talking. I knew where Damon was going with this. He wanted her to be reunited with him because then she could feel that true love again and have that, reuniting feeling of your very amazing true love and then just rip it away from her and rip his head off.
Do you think if that happens, it's going to go well? Because, okay, sure, you can do that. Say you do that. But Lily is crazy, and we haven't even seen the crazy side of her.
But that's Damon not thinking about the consequences.
It's true. But even Stefan wants to kill Julian, too, now. So it's kind of like...
They need to kill Julian.
Yeah. They definitely do, but it's like, what do you think... How do you think Lily's going to react? She's obviously not going to be happy about it, so you have to do something about Lily, too.
Well, there's that point, and there's the point of, is that even going to be easy?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, we don't even know.
So why even try and make this point by giving her her true love, and then, I think this is going to be a tough thing to try to kill Julian. I think he's going to be crazy and powerful. And also, I'm worried about the stone being in Lily's hands.
Yeah. I wonder if she knows anyone else. I wonder if she can bring back anyone else, too. You never know.
And we still have to figure out what this X has to do with the Phoenix Stone. We know it has something to do with it. We've been predicting this. And then when Julian was brought back, the X went away. Mm-hmm. So...
But we saw that X on Stefan, too, right?
Right.
Or later on.
Yeah.
So I wonder if something happened to Stefan.
Does Stefan die and then come back?
Maybe.
No. Oh, no. They better not kill Stefan.
What's his name has one, too?
Bo.
No, but Bo still has his.
Yeah.
So that doesn't make sense. So if they come back to life, how did Julian's go away? But
maybe
is still there.
No, because Stefan was Stefan in the 3 years from now, right?
Yeah.
Because I was thinking maybe it could be the fact that the X is still there, so it's not the right person in the right body.
Oh.
But
I don't think so. Well,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah, because we only saw a glimpse of it. Maybe that could happen, but I hope that's not the case because Stefan needs to be in the show.
I wonder who the hunter is going to be then.
I know. Let's get into some predictions talking about that.
And now, your AFTERBUZZ TV predictions.
So next week, we see Julian is back and Lily's coaching him on life and catching him up on everything because he's been dead for over 100 years. So she tells him that the enemies are her sons. And we see Stefan and Damon trying to kill him, which I don't think is going to go well.
It's not going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen either. I think Julian's really powerful. That's why. I mean, even Valerie's afraid of him, and she's a heretic, so he must be really powerful.
And I think he has a hold on Lily, and I don't think that he might
I don't even think he loves Lily.
No, I'm thinking that too.
I don't think so either. I think it's like he wants his own empire and his own, I think he has a plan.
Yeah, and I still want to know why he was running back in the day from New Orleans, excuse me, that's the originals, from Mystic Falls.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to know why he was running, because he wanted to get on that train when Valerie wanted to go back to meet up with Stefan.
Right.
So he's got some shady stuff, and I'm a little scared.
He's a shady person. Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen with that whole situation. I know they're not going to kill him easily if they try. I don't know, but I have a feeling that Alaric and Joe's person body, I just have a feeling that he's going to try to help her, but while he tries to help her, he might kind of like her and like fall in love with her, just because from what we've seen of her, she doesn't seem like an evil person. She's like confused, but she also seems really sweet. And I feel like because it's Joe, he's gonna, I don't know, he's probably gonna have like some feelings towards her with this whole like helping her out situation.
I agree with you.
Yeah, I can see that one.
Yeah, I think that they're both, he's really sad and in a vulnerable spot because he's missing Joe, and she's vulnerable because
and she's lonely. She doesn't have anyone else.
She doesn't even know who she is. Which, do you think that they'll get their memories back, whoever they are, and finally remember who they are? Because she had a glimpse of knowing how she was killed. She just had to kind of be in front of Joe's wedding dress that had blood on it, and she's seeing whoever's body she's in, how they died, it kind of triggers something for her.
Maybe she's gonna regain her memory slowly. Maybe things are gonna remind her, but I don't know.
But it's also some dark magic using this Phoenix Stone, bringing somebody back to life. So I feel like there has to be some kind of other thing going on and happening as a side effect to using this stone. Something dark, something scary, something not good.
Yeah. Or maybe they're going to try to find her body.
Yeah.
Or if there is a body, like the way Julian's body was kept away, maybe her body.
Can you transfer?
I don't know. Maybe put it back in the stone and then...
Yeah, because Lily and the Heretics
they obviously know how to do it. Yeah. So
who do you think the hunter is?
I have no idea. I was thinking Joe, but there's no Joe, so I don't know.
Now I think it's Sarah Salvatore, which I know some people have predicted.
Said, I can see that one.
She went off and did some research. I don't know.
I wonder, another thing that I'm curious about is before we saw the 3 years from now, I thought that Caroline might be with Enzo, and that's obviously not a thing. So I wonder if Caroline is with...
Who do you think she's with?
Tyler or someone else? I don't know. Or some rando?
Or Matt.
Yeah,
we didn't see Matt this episode. Yeah. The sheriff. We got a little mention of his car, but...
No Matt.
Maybe it's Matt.
I don't know.
Well, I think we covered everything.
Yeah.
So, where can everybody find you to keep talking about this episode?
Yeah, you guys can find me and tweet me at Jordana_Morfin. Where can we find you?
You guys can find me on Twitter at Katie Campbell. That's Katie with 3 E's Campbell. Instagram at KatieCampbell13 and YouTube.com/KatieCampbellOnline. I have a vlog and I'm putting out a new video tomorrow, so you guys should check that out. Also, we're going live for the originals at 11 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, so you guys should tune in for that. And thank you so much for tuning in. You guys are awesome. And thank you for all of your comments every week. And tweet us. Tell us what you thought. We'll see you guys next week.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.